Welcome to my art table. I'm happy to have you spend creative time with me today. I just finished a video about this is the first time I have done this, my first alcohol ink ornament explorations. It was a little bit like a science experiment, a little bit like a gamble to see how some of these alcohol inks would turn out when I put the alcohol inks inside of the ornaments. So that's part one. I'll link that video in the description of this one. This video is where I'm going to add some embellishments or paintings on top of some of the ornaments. I will set aside a couple of the ornaments that I am not sure if I'm going to do anything else to. I'm liking how they look, so I'll just put them off to the side for now. And not quite sure which other ones I will be playing with in this video. I'd like to start with this one because there was some glitter that spilled on the outside of it, the gold, and it's showing up. So that makes it an easy place to start, where I'd like to add some more gold to this one. Instead of glitter, I'm thinking that I'm going to use some Liquitex acrylic ink in gold to put on the outside of this ornament with a brush. I've got two sizes of round brush here. I'm going to start where some of that gold is already to kind of coordinate with what's already there and what was already happening around the top. These ornaments are plastic. We'll evaluate how this gold acrylic ink adheres to them. You could definitely use acrylic paint also. I'm just liking the color of this gold right now. Since I am painting onto a smooth surface, I don't want to scratch this ink back up, so I'm being careful to touch it lightly with the brush onto here. And I'm using it fairly thick. I should mention thanks for subscribing to Creative Solace Studios and browsing my art tutorials playlist for more videos. I think of myself as a mixed media art explorer. I like to try different things and make decisions as I go along. I'm not that fond of just the ink by itself. I don't know how this will or will not stick to it, but I'm trying it. I ran outside and sprayed some Workable Fixatif onto the top of this. I did not think I was going in this direction with this ornament, but I'm feeling called to one of my favorite paints, fluid acrylic, golden, and teal. I opted for some stripes with the teal. If you want very straight lines, just block off your stripes with tape, paint between the tape, and then peel the tape up when it's dry. Think about what paintings you might like to do. Graphic designs or patterns like I chose, something abstract, a realistic picture, perhaps an initial or a name or a word. After my teal fluid acrylic paint dried, I followed it up with some white gesso highlights with a finer tipped brush on top of the lines and dots that were already there. White brightens things up and made it look more complete. Now for the second alcohol ink ornament. Returning to the gold acrylic ink, I applied it with drips with the dropper. Then I coaxed those drips down the ornament with a brush. This is the ornament that ended up with a thin layer of patterned alcohol ink inside of it, so I'm using a liberal amount of gold ink to embellish the outside and make it feel festive and extravagant. It's fun to play with the gold like this, encouraging it to look random and freeform, yet guided and not messy.
This is so pretty and satisfying to watch that I'll set it to music for a bit to enjoy this luxurious looking technique. On the third ornament, I'm painting little starbursts with white gesso onto the dark background of the ornament. The white really stands out nicely against the deep blues and purples. It creates a theme of materials and a unified color palette when using the same mixed media art supplies on the various ornaments in this set of projects. Once the white gesso is dry, I'll bring out the gold Stickles glitter glue by Ranger and add some accent dots to the center of the white starbursts also. Then returning to the previous ornament, let's accent that dried gold ink with some of the Stickles glitter glue too. Holding a steady pressure on the bottle, I like the look of dots and lines with Stickles. It will dry a little bit raised up off the surface, dimensional 3D, and the sparkles show up very well even from across the room. I'll use 2 colors of this glitter glue and coordinate them with our color palette. It's so pretty and satisfying to work with and to look at after it's finished. After this ornament, I'll stick with that glitter glue and dot some of the Stickles onto the dark blue ornament, which is ornament number 4. Wow, it's time for the 5th ornament already, or do you call this a plastic bauble? I wanted to add some fuzzy texture into our collection of treasures, so I tied some coordinating specialty yarns around this creation and then attached a matching tag. This pretty tag was painted by my friend Jen Kane from Happy Making with Jen. The colors fit right in with this ornament, and I wanted some movement on one of the ornaments, and this cute tag achieved just that. Ornament number 6 is getting a postage stamp as a focal point. I looked through my collection of little paper ephemera, and this butterfly looked like it belonged. It was the right size as well as the right color. I'm sealing it with some high gloss varnish and setting it to dry. While that dries, that brings us to the 7th ornament, the one with the glitter inside of it. I felt that it needed some further decoration, but not a whole lot. I glued some gold braided trim around the top, then chose a different gold trim for a waistband around the 8th ornament as well. I could have left more of these ornaments without embellishments, but once I got going with the mixed media decorations, I was having fun with the textures and colors and the sparkles, so I kept going. Remember the postage stamp? After the postage stamp dried, I framed it with paint and added paint to the tag too, that little metal tag, the little metal rim around the tag. Heads up, I don't end up liking the paint around the metal of the tag, so stay tuned to see what becomes part of that. But I do like the paint around the postage stamp, and when it's dry, I bring in more of the glitter glue again. I add some gold dots around the butterfly's frame, and I think that ornament is finished. But about that tag with the little painted lines around it, it looked too busy for me. It wasn't relaxing. So I tried covering every other stripe, every other of the aqua stripes with gold ink. No, still too cluttered. What to do when something's too busy? Just cover it all with glitter. Yes, that will do the trick. Much more calming and relaxing to the eye, don't you think? Stickles glitter glue to the rescue. Now let's allow everything to dry and see how it looks as a whole collection.
Let's take a look at how they finished up. I'm happy to spend some creative mixed media time with you today as we are exploring alcohol ink ornaments. These are the two that I did not embellish. Check out that video about how to put the alcohol ink inside of the ornaments, linked in the description of this video. Here we have two ornaments with focal points, one with a stamp and one with a tag, along with some fiber and some glitters. Let's see, these are the two with the fiber trims on them. Some more with paint and a little bit of that acrylic ink. And that glitter glue seemed to make it onto most of the ornaments. I had a really fun time with these alcohol ink embellishments. It's fun to create art projects and then to add extra things to them, like on these. Thanks for joining me today.